Morning. Looks like a good day to go out and do our second pass on cultivating corn. Got the buffalo hooked back up. We did some mods to it. Took all the shields off. Flipped all the disc killers around. So that we're throwing dirt now to the row rather than taking dirt away from the row. So we got a little bit of a ridging action right there. And got all the shields off out of the way so they're not causing any problems. Yeah, well, let's go clean that corn up. I'm gonna figure out where my rows are here. Sneak my way back in here. I did the 2 outside end rows last night. Still got 2 more to do, but I think we're gonna leave those until after we get all the rest of them done, because that looks like a heck of a good ridge to be bouncing over, and that might not be so encouraging to bounce over when we're turning around and getting all our center rows done. So I think we'll leave these 2 second outside rows done till the very last. But as you can see, we've got a hell of a ridge there, and it's flowing up real nice right on the row. And we haven't got a lot of weeds, but with the weeds that we do have, or like this cocklebur right there, he's obviously going to make it through because there's nothing to do with him. But the ones that are in the row are like this. That's a grass plant and a buttonweed there, and another buttonweed. The ones that are right along the row, including the grass, got some that are 2, 3, 4 inches tall. And by throwing the dirt up around the corn plant like that, we're going to bury it. So that will be a pretty effective way of getting that stuff shut down, getting her stopped. And I got some more good news. The big bare spots that we had over farther on the other end of the field, it just, over those 2 hills back there, there's spots where there was no corn from that first pass. It wasn't a planter problem, and it wasn't a seed problem. It was a moisture in the ground problem. It simply did not have enough moisture to get that corn germinated. Now see, here's what I'm talking about right there. It looked like the corn just didn't come up or died or whatever, but it simply was too dry and the corn didn't germinate. So now we've got a bunch of little short corn in this taller corn area all over this hilltop back here, all over this one behind me. So I've got a couple options. I can either pull clear out and leave it so I'm not burying that little corn. I can go make a bunch of adjustments to the cultivator so that it's not wiping out the little bitty stuff. And what I think I'm going to do is just lift up. There's not really much there for weeds on any of these drier spots where there wasn't any corn that's germinated later. And that's going to be a heck of a lot easier than going and making a bunch of adjustments that's, whatever. So I said there's not a whole lot of weeds in this area anyway, just because it was so dry. So I'm just going to lift up through these areas. Unfortunately, that means some of the spots where there's bigger corn like that, and shorter corn in the same pass, means, yeah, there's probably going to be some weeds that could have got killed that we're not going to get killed. That there is the same situation, and I was fortunate enough to drive straight enough on the first pass. I didn't wipe it all out, but that was with the John Deere cultivator and not the buffalo. Where I had the buffalo on it, pretty well wiped it all out. Anyway, that's what we're doing. See if I can't get the drone up here in a minute, and we'll get some aerial shots. I thought I might hop out and give you a visual of what it's actually doing back here too. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a mound up right next to the corn. You can see a little bit of a trench there in the middle. Let's look back here behind the row. So what we're doing is taking that dirt right next to the row right there, and we're fluffing it up and flipping it right up against the corn. That way we've got a lot of dirt right on top of the corn row to help bury any of these weeds that are in the row with the corn. Okay, so let's dig down here and see if we can see any of these weeds. That's literally like 4 inches, 5 inches of dirt we're pushing right up against that corn row. That's a lot of coverage. But also on the negative side, pushing that much corn up there, the corn's still pretty weak and flexible, and you'll literally just flatten it, as you can see right there on that last pass. So we've really got to be on top of our driving skill and not be screwing around playing on our phones or flying the drone or talking on the phone or whatever, because that will lead into a whole lot of shit. Now that was just one row, it didn't do that on all of them, so it looked like I was wiggling just a little bit, making sure I got straight, and this one just got a little bit sideways. Well, that corn's not broke off, it's just pushed over from the big windrow of dirt coming through there. So it's doing a heck of a good job of pushing dirt, but like I said, it's almost too much. And it looks like I'm pretty well centered, but man, if we could shove those out that other inch, or maybe just take and turn our disc not quite so aggressive, maybe it wouldn't do that quite so bad. Also, I'm still not real keen on this cultivator. I kept calling them last year trying to get this back shank adjusted deeper, and they said, "Oh, well, just turn your top link out so it'll tip the cultivator down." Yeah, but then, man, shit, you're having to readjust all your shovel angles, and it's not really. You're still, even though it's gonna, if you screw it out, you're gonna tip it back further, but you're pushing those farther down too. I want to just drop these and not have to adjust anything else. Now it looks like I could probably take this screw loose there and drop it down and get it to do what I want. Let's look it down and see how far that shovel is. See what it looks like down here. There she is. Okay, now there's a little ribbon right there that's not getting cut by those discs. If I can find it. So that shovel is literally only cutting out that much of the dirt. That's hardly anything as far as cutting with a shovel. So I think we could make some adjustments and do a lot better job yet. But in a time sense, when we've got hay down and we've got corn that needs to be cultivated, and we've got to go drive clear, 2 hours south to do those beans next, it's just a lot of freaking adjustments that you got to do just for each application, and that's not super handy. You see, we've already got a pretty good tip. The cutter bar is not square with the tractor already. We're leaning pretty good. So we did, when we first hooked up yesterday, we adjusted that top link out so it would dig a little deeper. But still, I think those shanks could be dropped and alleviate some of that. Anyway, yeah, let's look back here at the row and see what we're burying. Look at these stupid cockleburs. And as that big windrow of dirt comes rolling up here, it's going to basically just bury all that crap. Now the bigger ones, we've had some that are you know, 6 inches tall, it's not going to bury them. It's going to leave the top leaves out of the ground, and they're going to make it through anyway. So it is what it is. Just do the best you can and get the job done. It is doing a good job, but it's not quite. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, it's like I said, it's doing a good job. It's just not doing quite the job that I really want it to do. So anyway, let's get going here. We're pretty much done. I just got to finish up these last 2 end rows. And you saw in the drone footage, I am literally just creeping along. Because like I said, if I go too fast, it's going to bury those corn plants, because it's just got too much dirt there for them to withstand. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope the corn does all right for them little spots that are coming along late. And we're gonna call this video a wrap. We've got to go do a bunch of custom baling. Still haven't got the other anteater fixed, so we're using the loader tractor. Anyway, until the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.